Chapter 7, Seven Deadly Sins. Suddenly we're all ghosts. Not just Peachy and David. Damn it, I wish they could be. I'd love to see them shimmering in the dark going, whoa! The cliché ghost noise. A couple of supernatural dickheads pranking us and making Monk's turntable skip. That'd be something, but no dice. I mean, the 6 of us who are left. We're haunting ourselves. Each other. Our own bodies. Good grief. There's nothing good about it. Grief. David's family have shut out the world. Our boy who busted his wrists fighting gravity on a half-pipe has been gone a week. Peachy almost a month. I'm not sleeping. I just sit with Prue and Echo, usually Twink too, but not today, and we stare. We stare into space, into each other. We stare at the TV while Gilmore Girls or old movies, daytime soaps and music channels flicker past our eyes. We take turns crying, never all at once. Too crowded on the losing end. Monk and Unit are not here enough, or we're not with them enough. I miss them. Monk sent a cryptic message about Iron Maiden earlier. I haven't replied. I haven't understood it much. I know it was the last music David ever heard, but I can't get into music nerd shit right now. I'm too busy being a living ghost. Yourself. If Peachy was the heart of our group, David was the kung fu hands. He stood up when we cowered away. You saw it on the walk home. He leaned into trouble as if to say, "Are you looking for me?" Without him, we're vulnerable. We've only got Unit to protect us now. And he's more like a wrecking ball than a tactician. David and his hands. After that skating accident, he was so smashed up he struggled to play the guitar again, but he regularly used those mitts to defend his friends, his honour, his idea of right from wrong. Each time he did, the pain, the setbacks, the repeated warnings of doctors that his dexterity would get worse. I wouldn't say he didn't listen, but I'm pretty sure he didn't care. Prue is reading stuff on the group chat. I'm resting my head on her shoulder. Echo sits across from us on the carpet, knees hugged tight to her chest, quietly losing another round of rock, paper, scissors. She's always scissors. I go paper this time just to let her win. There's a ping on the thread. Monk again? Hunk! On 7 on 7, the run-out groove on side 2 says, "If you don't like it, bollocks." But only the UK vinyl. It's not on the US, not the CD, not the tape. Not sure about the picture disc. 200 quid on eBay. I half smile into Prue's jumper. "He's off again," I mutter. Prue doesn't reply. She's still reading. Monk follows it up. "Monk, it's not printed. It's scratched into the wax. You have to look for it." Echo frowns. "That from the Maiden record?" Prue nods. Slow. "Seventh son of a seventh son," I sigh. "David's favourite." Echo wraps her arms tighter. It's what he was listening to. When they found him, the policeman told me the same thing, a very specific detail, before all communication about him was shut down. Another ping. David messaged us that quote, right before he died. Now Prue looks up. "I remember that," she says. "It came through just after we got back from the shack. He sent it to all of us. Just those words. He didn't explain it, just posted it. He laughed when I told him about it." "That was me, you spanner!" David was there? I don't remember, it was ages ago. Even if wouldn't still remember that. I lift my head. David didn't remember lyrics to a song he was currently singing. He used to forget what lesson he was in while he was in it. He forgets everything. Prue nods. "Yeah, except birthdays." Another ping. "The only way he'd post that is if he'd seen it again." Echo's eyes narrow. "But he had it on cassette, right? His super cool retro Walkman. Not the record?" She goes to Prue's CD shelf and picks up a copy of the album. I nod. "The cop said it was a school library rental. It's marked on the tape. I don't think he owned it." Prue mutters, "You wouldn't see a dead groove message on a tape. There's no wax, no run out." She scrolls back up, lips moving silently. "At least his last song was Iron Maiden. What's the last song on that album?" I say. Echo flips over the CD. "The last one, Only the Good Die Young." That's a bit on the nose, isn't it? Prue blinks. "Only the Good Die is not quite the end of the album." She scrolls again. "There's that weird little coda. It's a hidden track. Just a few seconds long. Bruce kind of strums it like a minstrel singing a folk song." She quotes it soft. 7 deadly sins, 7 ways to win, 7 holy paths to hell." We're all quiet. "I don't remember that," I say. "David did," Prue replies. "He used to call it the secret spell, said it made the album end like a curse. It ends how it starts. Cycle of doom. He went off on it once. 7 downward slopes, 7 bloodied hopes. 7 are your burning fires. 7 your desires. Echo shivers. You only get that track if you listen through. Even the cassette has it, but you've got to let it run. And the bollocks message? I ask. Half the group chat, half the room. Only on the record. Prue answers out loud and types at the same time. He didn't own a record player. Didn't even know he had the tape, so how did he see it again? Maybe someone played it for him, showed him or reminded him. Or someone wanted us to think about this. Staged it, but got it wrong. Twink is still quiet, still in the chat, still hasn't typed a thing. I glance at Prue. Her jaw's tight now. She's thinking what I'm thinking. This wasn't suicide. Not just because it feels wrong, because it doesn't add up. We needed to get out. It wasn't a decision so much as a drift. From phones to shoes, from Echo's floor to the pavement. Unit was already up before anyone said a word. Monk said he'd meet us there. The walk to school is quiet. Not heavy, just hush, like we're on our way back to church. Countingdon streets are slick with leaf rot, motor oil and old rain. Everything feels damp, like the air itself has weight. The clouds above are low and black. I kinda like it. When we push the library doors open, the warm hush of old carpet and paper swallows us whole. Miss Park is behind the desk. She looks up and the lines around her eyes soften. Come on in, she says, closing her notebook. You're a sight for sore eyes. Prue steps forward. We needed books. Miss Park smiles without needing more. Then you're in the right place. Rock section's a little less of a mess. She winks at Monk. But I trust you lot not to reorganise it. Again. Unit nods politely. Monk gives a faint smile, and we disappear into the stacks. It's not a big section, but it's deep in other ways. Between cracked-spined bios of Lemmy and Freddie, the Kurt Cobain diaries, the battered 101 albums to hear before you die, and a shelf of fading tapes with peeling labels, we find it again. Like a scale model of a forgotten era. Like home. David's fingerprints are on everything. There's the tape of Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, but just the case. No cassette. It's got a library number sticker. I frown. Thought it would be out, I say quietly. Monk kneels down to check the flap. No name inside, he murmurs. No mark, no checkout card either. He tilts the empty shell. But the tape's gone. Unit shrugs. He could have snuck it out. David? I ask. Would he do that? Prue shakes her head. He's not the type to pinch stuff, but that detective made sure he mentioned the tape when he visited all our homes. Isn't that a bit, I don't know, sus? Eels, Echo says. Detective Inspector Eels, Eels! Then she mutters, God-damned right. It's a beautiful day. We fall quiet again, but it's a different kind of silence now. Less ghostly. More curious. We're not drowning anymore. We're Monk pulls a vinyl copy of Power Slave off the top shelf. This one's so great, he says. He liked this cover best. I nod at it. Lost for words. Echo finds a booklet called Heavy Metal and the Devil's Music, starts flipping. This is ridiculous, she whispers. It says Slayer 'cause kids to levitate. I look her dead in the eyes. I thought that was Kate Bush. Unit finds Beavis and Butthead's Guide to Rock, starts reading in the voice. We groan. Ha ha ha! Depeche Mode! Ha ha! That's French for wussies! Prue lingers on a book called Women of Rock, Her Story, stroking the underlined spines. I notice it's one of the few in the section that looks truly cared for. No dog ears, no doodles, no torn stickers. I reach for a well-worn copy of Metallica and Justice for All, the sheet music, and open to a middle page without knowing why, and then my phone buzzes. Group chat. Twink? This is their first message in hours. Twink, you'll pay for this mischief! In this world or the next! It cuts off. We all stare at it like they've gone completely sideways. Oh, and he fixed me. A beat, then another. Freezing flash. My blood runs cold. I show it to Prue. Her face drains. Echo has already seen it. Unit steps forward. What is it? I gulp. Twink's quoting Maiden, Echo whispers. Badly. Another message comes in. You're blind, too blind to see them. Fire, water? Burns. I don't want to be next. Prue types fast. Where are you, baby? Please answer. No reply. Are you safe? We're coming to you. Just tell us where. Still nothing. A new ping. More garbled than the rest. In the fur place. Floor place. Siri, you slut. Floor place, I echo. Fireplace? I'm grasping for continuity. Bonfire field? Prue suggests. Carriageway roses? That's got to be it. Shit, I say, standing up. Twink's alone. Unit's already on his phone calling. No answer. We're moving. No need for a plan, just instinct, out of the library, out into the greying air. The pages and spines left behind are still humming with secrets. In moments we're running, out of the gates, down the school drive, across the sodden pavements of Countingdon. That sky can't hold water any longer. We're in for a downpour. Clouds stack like bad news in a sky higher than I've noticed over Countingdon before. The first drop hits as we pass the old bus stop, then the sky opens like it's breaking apart. Heavy rain. Real film-ending stuff. The thunder rumbles like the start of an album, but guitars don't follow, just hard shoes slapping on tarmac over and over. Unit leads. Monk has to loop back for Echo when she skids on the mud. I grab Prue's hand without thinking. She doesn't let go. We reach the field first, the one next to the raid where we poured drinks, the one we called the fireplace. Twink's not here, but the cross is. Crooked now, rain running down its arms. The ground is still dark where we soaked it in red wine, cider and tears. Someone, probably Vincent, left a tea-light candle in a little glass jar. It's full of water now. We're all breathing too fast. Hearts like kick drums. I think of baby bats. Of Vincent crying behind his shades, of Twink's trembling hands that night. Then we're running again. Monk shouts something about Knox Farm. I don't hear it all, but we follow him. We pass the rusted gate, past the busted fencing, into the back edge of the farm where old ploughs and iron wheels rot like metal skeletons. Usually I'd stop to take an arty photo for my wanky Instagram. Not today. Up a long drive from the spot where we stand sits the tin well of Tinwell Grove fame. The one from the dream. It's a mile and a half in pissing rain up that track, through crop fields on either side. There's lightning in the sky as we look to the grove. It's spectacular. We're prepping ourselves to run towards it when there's a clang to our left, and then another sound, soft, indignant, from the barn. Unit steps up to the huge black wooden building and pushes the door open like 1,000 bats might be on the other side of it. Inside, in the dark, sat on a crate, mascara streaked and hoodie soaked, but somehow still sitting like a fucking star. Taylor Twinkle Tremboli. Cigarette in one hand, smudged eyeliner in the other, muttering, "I had to get under a roof. This is Silk." They look up. Blink. You all look like drowned rats. And just like that, Prue reaches Twink first, nearly skidding on the slick concrete. She throws her arms around them. "You absolute bastard," she sobs. "I didn't mean to scare you," Twink says, then hiccups. "I meant to nap." Echo's on their other side, gripping their sleeve with both hands. I crouch down in front of them, trying not to laugh and cry at the same time. "You look like Jesus Christ Superstar!" I whisper. "Buffalo Bill," mutters Unit. Twinkle tries to strike a pose, fails, then lights a cigarette from a cheap lighter with trembling fingers. "Oi!" Monk barks. "You do not light up in a barn full of hay." Twink glares at him. "Oh, I'm sorry, is this your barn, Neil Young?" Monk throws his arms high, then low, gesturing at all the bales stacked high to the roof. "This place is flammable as shit, Twink," Monk says, stepping forward, voice tight. "This is how I grieve, Monk. With risk!" "It's spicy," Twink slurs. "Maybe if I go up in flames, you can etch a sad little poem into the run-out groove of my bloody autopsy report." That stings. The whole barn goes still. Monk's jaw clenches, but he doesn't reply. I take a breath. "We found the tape case," I say softly. "In the library. No tape, no checkout slip, but it was there. We think David took it without telling Miss Park." Twink frowns. "So?" Stepping in to get us on track, Prue says, "So, he quoted the vinyl run-out groove, a thing that's only on the record." Twink shrugs. "And David didn't have a record player," I add. "He'd only know that quote if he saw the vinyl." "Recently." Monk steps in again, calmer now. "Whoever set the scene got the wrong format." Twink stares at us for a moment, then leans back. "So Nancy Drew, Scooby-Doo and you, Stabitha Christie, are on the case? Now you think he didn't kill himself?" "We don't know," I admit. "But it doesn't add up." A pause. Echo says softly, "We thought you might be next." Twink freezes. They glance at her. She looks like hell, but she said it. Said it like it mattered. Like they matter. For a second, Twink forgets how loved they are. Then it hits. They almost light another cigarette. Hands twitching, fumbling for the lighter, then pause. It's sinking in, but they're refusing to let it in easy. "You stopped replying," Echo says. Then came the lyrics. Then the mistakes. Unit shifts beside her. It felt like a setup, he says, like you were being hunted too. Twink presses the cigarette out against their boot, doesn't argue. Monk crouches now, not angry anymore. We're not saying we know what's going on, but it's not random. And if they're using songs, he glances around. We need to know which ones. Twink nods slowly so we can stay ahead. Echo looks at me. We need to make a list, she says. There's a pause, a kind of collective breath. And then Twink laughs. Just once. Dry. Okay, sure, let's make a bloody playlist for our own murder mystery. No one said murder, Monk mutters. It's like we're all getting the same memo at slightly different moments. Didn't have to, Twink says, wiping their mouth with their sleeve. Just implied it with a knowing vinyl reference and some fucking admin task. Your mates are dead. Here's some homework. We don't know it's anything, Prue cuts in. It could be grief, coincidence, trauma making patterns. But what if it's not, I say. Everyone looks at me. I can't believe I'm about to say it out loud. What if it is a plan? A fully laid out plan, with an end. The work already done, like a sequence. Peachy died, then Gavid. They both had number songs around them. 8 Miles Highs? 7 Deadly Sins, I reply. 2 songs, 2 deaths, tiny little tells. I mean, they're not even obvious. There were 8 of us, Echo says quietly. Now there are 6. The silence that follows is thunderous. Prue closes her eyes. It could still be coincidence. It could be anything, Monk says. A person, a game, a fucking ghost. Twink lights another cigarette. It's Countingdon. Shit things happen here all the time, but this is weird. That makes us pause. Echo says, actually, what if that's the point? We all glance at her. Countingdon, she says again. Wait, Twink says, eyes darting. If there's a pattern, if we're counting down. They stop. Blink. Then who's 6? Nobody answers. I mean, Twink continues, if 8 was Peachy and 7 was Gavid and we're now at 6, then whoever's up next. Don't, Prue snaps. Don't assign numbers to our friends. But the songs, Twink insists. What if the songs are doing it for us? Monk, still crouched, starts listing quietly. People equal shit. Slipknot, 2001. If I'm 555, then you're 666. Echo mutters, Pixies, Monkey Gone to Heaven, the devil is 6. The devil is 6. The devil is 6, but God is 7. 6 shooter, I add. Queens of the Stone Age. Twink pulls their hoodie tighter. Okay, now I hate music. We're not even sure this is real, Prue says. It might not be anything. Then why are we all buying into this? I ask. Why does it feel like we're circling something? Echo stares at the ground. Maybe we are. Then suddenly Monk. Oh my God, he says, standing up like he's been electrocuted. The number of the beast. The barn goes dead quiet. 6, 6, 6, he says slowly. Iron Maiden, Prue swears under her breath. Twink drops their cigarette. Echo grips her hoodie like it's the only thing keeping her grounded. None of us are laughing now. Twink exhales through their nose. Huska do then, Iron Maiden? Surely the next song won't be another Maiden track. Monk straightens. We all know the rules of a mixtape. Unit nods. Never 2 songs by the same artist in a row. Nobody is going to put 2 Maiden tracks side by side in a mix. It's just, that's right, Prue says. It's the only rule everyone agrees on. I blink. So, we're still okay to listen to Number of the Beast? Is that what you're telling me? I sit back against the barn wall, rain still dripping from my fringe, because I swear to God I can't live without Children of the Damned. We laugh. We shouldn't. But we do. It's the first one that doesn't feel hollow.